Hey everybody, and welcome. I'm a little late to the party here. I'm just being introduced to this game, the solo game, which came out a couple of years ago called Castellion. It's in the same universe as games that preceded it called Onirum and Sylvion. I never really looked terribly closely at those games. They didn't seem to really appeal to me, but this one did right off the bat. So maybe it might make me go back and take another look at Onirum and Sylvion to see if maybe there's something there that I was overlooking. But in any event, today I'm here to talk about Castellion. Now, if you've watched any of my previous playthrough tutorial videos, you know that I like writing programs to demonstrate my how the game works and how it plays. Much easier to do so than zooming a camera all over the place. And the other advantage is that my program, assuming I programmed it correctly, won't let me make a mistake. There are a lot of great playthrough videos in the BGG forum that I watched while I was learning this game, although I should say the rules are really well written, although oddly organized, but that's beside the point. All the playthroughs I watched had one or more mistakes of some type, either because somebody had misunderstood the rules or overlooked something. I'm not taking anything away from those playthrough videos. They were all very good. You just have to be aware that they're not flawless. As I said, hopefully my program works flawlessly, and therefore it won't allow me to make a mistake. So there are three ways of playing this game. There's an introductory game, a base game, and an expert game. For this first video, I'm just going to go through the introductory game, hopefully pretty quickly. I have not played this game much at all, so I am not that good at it, I should say. But hopefully I can get through the introductory game while filming this video. Once this video is complete and I've uploaded it, maybe I'll then move on to demonstrating a base level game, which is a much more interesting game. And if I'm really courageous, I'll move up to the expert game, but that remains to be seen. In any event, in this game, you're trying to build a castle in a 6x6 grid, with a 6x6 grid of building tiles. And when you're drawing tiles, you draw from one of two different stacks. There's a stack of red back tiles, 72 tiles in it, and there's a small stack of 12 blue backed tiles. The 72 red tiles consist of 4 different types of factions: chameleons, which are green; jugglers, which are red; pyros are purple; and seers are blue. And each of these tiles come in 3 different shapes. There are circles, squares, and triangles. So this red stack consists of 5 of the circles, squares, and triangles of the chameleons, 5 each of the circle, squares, triangle jugglers, pyros, and seers. And then in addition, that's the 60 building tiles, and in addition to that, there are 12 traitor tiles, 9 of which have a plain border and 3 of which have a black border. The black border traitor tiles don't really have a special meaning until you get into the base level game. So in this game, they're not really going to be treated any differently than the non-black border tiles. The blue stack consists of 1 of each of the types of building tiles, but no traitor tiles, no time tiles. So this is considered a safe stack. You would want to draw from this stack if you were in danger of the time trials triggering one of the 3 encounters coming up that you are not quite ready to encounter just yet. This first encounter is going to require that our castle consists of 1 of each of 3 different types of formations: a tower, which is a vertical set of 4 tiles of the same faction; 1 bastion, at least, which is a square set of 4 adjacent tiles of the same faction, and 1 line of defense, which is a horizontal line of 4 tiles belonging to the same faction. Now, the wrinkle here is that when you're building, say, a castle, or rather a tower of, let's say, 4 jugglers, you can't have any other jugglers adjacent to that set of 4 jugglers that make up the tower. Otherwise, the tower doesn't count. So there's a certain level of purity that has to exist in your castle when you're creating these formations. Assuming I do have a tower, at least 1 tower, at least 1 bastion, and at least 1 line of defense, when this encounter triggers, then I will have met the requirements of the encounter and I continue playing. If I don't, then I've lost the game and it's over. So there's a 5 here that indicates that this encounter is going to trigger when I have drawn 5 time tiles from the red stack that have been placed on this encounter. At that point, I'm going to have to meet these requirements. Subsequent to that, the next 2 time tiles will get placed on this second encounter. This one doesn't have any requirements per se. It just requires that it's just going to destroy the bottom row of my castle, and it has the requirement that after destroying the bottom row of my castle, I still have to have a complete bottom row to my castle. I can't have any gaps. So in effect, when I'm going into this encounter, I've got to make sure that my second row is complete, as well as my first row. All of these requirements also require that you have a complete filled foundation in the bottom row of the castle of 6 tiles. And then lastly, if I make it all the way to level 3, here I have to have 3 lines of defense and 2 towers. And assuming I meet those requirements, I'll have won the game. But anywhere along this path, if I don't quite make it, I've lost and the game is over. There are no placement restrictions when you're creating the bottom row of the castle, but beyond that, you can't place a circle next to a circle, or a square next to a square, or a triangle next to a triangle. And as I said, the entire castle is limited to a 6x6 grid. This is all going to make much more sense as soon as I start the playthrough, which is about to begin momentarily. I should say that in the introductory game here, you're basically, to a large extent, you're at the mercy of how you draw tiles. You still have to place them intelligently, but your only choice is to either place them or discard them. Or if it's a time tile, it goes right on the next encounter. When you're playing the base or the expert level game, when you discard a tile, you get to use its special ability. That makes the game much more interesting. So once I've created this video of the introductory game, then hopefully I'll follow it up with another video of demonstration of the base level game. But let's get underway here so you can see really quickly how this works. So remember, this blue stack is the safe stack. It has no timer tiles in it. So I don't have to draw from this unless I'm in jeopardy of triggering one of these encounters when I'm not quite ready for it. There's only 12 tiles, so I have to use it sparingly. So for the most part, I'm going to be drawing from this red stack. And if I have to draw from the blue stack, I will make note of that. But otherwise, every time I draw a tile, it's going to be coming from the red stack. So the first tile I draw is a red triangular juggler. You can see there's a triangle here that's behind the red juggler. There's really not much to do with this tile other than place it at the bottom of my castle. So it's going to go right down here, dead center in the bottom row. And now we move into my second draw. This is a blue seer triangle. And I cannot place it above this red juggler triangle because they're 2 triangles. You can't have 2 triangles adjacent to one another unless they're in the bottom row exclusively. So I can place it to the right or the left of this juggler because adjacent triangles in the bottom row don't matter. So I will simply place it here and draw another tile. And now I've got a purple pyro, a square. So that can go here, here, or above either one of these tiles because it's a square, and it can be placed adjacent to a triangle because it's not the same shape. So now I have to have a game plan. So remember, for this first encounter, I need one tower, one bastion, and one line of defense. So I think what I'm going to do here is, depending upon whether I get some jugglers or some seers, I'll create a line of defense in my bottom row consisting of one of those two factions. And therefore, I won't place this pyro in the bottom row. I'll wait until I see if I get some more jugglers or seers. So the pyro, for now, I'm going to stick up here above the blue seer triangle. And now my next draw is another juggler. So that's going to go to the left of this juggler. And now I'm halfway to creating a line of defense. I just need to have a complete line of 4 jugglers next to one another, and I'll have met 1/3 of the requirements of this first encounter. So now I draw another juggler, a triangular juggler, and so this one's going to go over here. And now I've got 3 jugglers, one more, and I'll be ready to go. My next draw is a square seer. I guess I can just put that over here to the right of this one. It's not really helping me one way or the other. In fact, I can't do much with it. I can't really build a tower with it because it will be contaminated by this blue seer. Remember, any formation you create can't be adjacent to any tiles of that same faction. So this is sort of just a placeholder just to help me fill in my foundation. Okay, next draw is a green square chameleon. I can maybe start a bastion with that, so I'll stick that over here. So I'll just need to have a set of 3 more chameleons right here to create a bastion. Okay, now I've drawn a purple pyro circle, and so this is great. So I'm going to start my tower of pyros over here. So I'll place that here. And now I'll draw a red juggler. So far, so good. I haven't drawn any time tiles, so this really helps out. So this is going to fill in the bottom of my foundation, and now I have one complete line of defense as shown here. Remember, I need one line of defense, one bastion, and one tower before this encounter triggers, and it will trigger once I have 5 time tiles on it. So far I'm looking really good. No time tiles, and I'm 1/3 of the way there. Okay, I've got a blue seer circle. So as I said, I can't really use this to build a tower over here on the right because it's contaminated by this blue seer. So let's maybe try a blue tower of seers on the left. So I'll put it over here. And now I'm going to draw, all right, a circular green chameleon. So that's going to be for my bastion, I guess, and that's going to go here. I cannot place it here because a circle can't be next to a circle. And in fact, I've got myself into a little jam here because this has to be a triangle. This is the only thing that can fit here. It can't be a square because there's a square here. It can't be a circle because there's a circle here. So I'm going to be waiting for a triangular chameleon to go here in order to make my bastion. You never want to be in a situation where you create a permanent dead space. for example, if I placed a triangle here, I can't because there's a triangle here. But let's say I could place a triangle here. Well, a triangle here and a circle here and a square here means nothing is going to work in this space and it's dead. So I have pretty much lost the game already. So those are the kind of pitfalls you have to look out for. However, for the time being, I'm fine. So this green chameleon circle is going to go over here, and I'm halfway to having my bastion. Okay. Oh, there's my first traitor. So I'm 1/5 of the way to having this encounter trigger. One of the 5 time tiles needed to make this encounter hit. But I'm doing well. I have 1 line of defense. I'm halfway to my first bastion, and I'm halfway to my first tower. So far, so good. Let us draw again. And now I've got a red jugular triangle, which I don't really have any use for. My line of defense is finished, and I can't put it here, otherwise it'll ruin the line of defense. Plus, it's going to ruin my plans for my chameleon. So I'm just going to discard this juggler triangle, which you can do in this game. If you don't want a tile, you just discard it. So I'm going to right-click it to discard. And now the next thing I draw is a triangular purple pyro. And now that can work as a bastion here or as a tower. Of course, if I go for the bastion and put it here, with a triangle here and a circle here, I'm going to be limited to having a square here, which limits my options. So I think I'm going to go for the tower and put it up here. I'm already limiting my options over here because I need a triangular chameleon. Over here, I'm just going to keep it flexible and continue building my tower. Next tile is a blue square seer, and that'll continue my work on my tower over here on the far left. So that's good. You can see this game really moves along pretty quickly, as long as you kind of think intelligently about where you're placing things. And all the testing I did while I was making sure my program worked flawlessly did help me sort of learn the tips and tricks along the way. So now I've drawn a square pyro, and that'll complete my tower. So I've got a complete tower now. I've got a complete line of defense. I'm halfway to having my bastion, though I am waiting for a very specific kind of chameleon in order to make that get to the next step. And I'm far from having to trigger this first encounter, so I'm doing really well. I'm really happy with the way this is going so far, because you could have a game where the first 3 tiles you draw are time tiles. But fortunately, that hasn't happened, so let's continue on. We've got a green triangular chameleon. That is exactly what I want. It's going to go right here. And now I need a square chameleon to go here, and I will have met the requirements of the first encounter far before it's even triggered. So I'm really doing well. And I haven't had to dip into this blue stack at all. And I spoke too soon. There's another time tile. So now I'm 2/5 of the way here, and I haven't built this bastion yet. So I've got to make sure that tile comes along before 3 more timers come along. So now I've drawn a circular seer, and that's going to continue my work on the tower over here. Because looking ahead, remember, I need 3 towers from the 3rd encounter, so I need to continue building towers. Okay, we've got a triangular purple seer. Well, I can't put it here or here because it's going to contaminate the tower. And I could put it here. I don't want to put it here because it's going to mess up my tower of seers. I think I'm just going to discard this and get rid of it. Yeah. Now we draw a square juggler. Let's see. I think I'll put it here to because I could always have a bastion because I remember I do need two bastions. I could start another bastion of jugglers up here. Of course, I can't place another one over here until I've completed my first bastion, but I'll stick that here. Okay, now I've drawn a pyro triangle. No good place for this. I'm just going to discard it. And the traitor. Okay, I'm 2 timers away from this one triggering. I still haven't completed my bastion. I'm getting a little nervous. Okay, a triangular chameleon. Not what I need. I need a square chameleon. So this one's going to get discarded. Okay, a blue seer circle. Doesn't work for the tower. Can't put a circle above a circle. I could dump it over here. Remember, I'm going to have to fill in this second row for this second encounter, because the second encounter is going to destroy the bottom row, and if I don't have a full second row that's going to drop into place, I'll have lost the game. So I might as well start filling in this second row while I have the time. So I think that circle seer is going to go right here. Yeah. All right, I've drawn a square juggler. I think that's going. A purple pyro triangle. Can't go here or here, so that's getting discarded. Still continuing to draw from the red stack. Okay, I've got a green circular chameleon. Not a square one. I feel like I'm starting to push my luck. Okay, this is getting discarded. A red juggler circle. I could use that here for the bastion. Let's see what happens. Okay, I've drawn a green chameleon triangle. Not what I need. I need a square. So let's see, chameleons. I've got 4 squares remaining in the red stack. So, and there are. I'm not cheating, by the way, by having this grid here. This is a game of perfect information. You know exactly how many tiles there are of each type. You know what's in your discard pile over here. So, so in that regard, I'm actually, I think it's just a matter of time. So this one I'm going to dump. I've drawn a blue seer square. Okay, that's going to complete my tower over here. That's my second tower now. I still am waiting to complete this bastion. If I get another timer, I may have to start drawing from the blue stack. Let's see what happens. Oh, there, that's perfect. There's my green square chameleon. It's going to go right here. I now have 1 tower, actually 2 towers, 1 bastion, and 1 line of defense. So I have now officially met the requirements of this first encounter. I could resolve it right now if I wanted to, but there's only 3 timers on it, and I'd rather have the next couple timers I get fall on this one as opposed to this one, because I'm not ready for this one to hit yet. I haven't filled in this gap. Okay, so now I've got a red juggler square. I'll discard that. I've got a blue seer triangle. Okay, so that I will start another tower of seers over here. Now, the tower isn't going to work for this encounter, but when this encounter hits and destroys the bottom row, I won't have this contaminating my tower any longer. So I'm kind of thinking ahead of having a set of 4 blue seers right in here. So that's going to go there. And that's good because I have a triangle diagonally opposite another triangle, so I can put a circle or a square here. I've drawn a circular green chameleon. Perfect. Yeah, that. Well, here. I could put it there, fill in that. Oh, I can't put it here. It would contaminate my bastion. I've got to discard it. Yeah. Okay, I've got a green triangle chameleon. I really have no place for chameleons at this point. I mean, I suppose I could stick it up in here at the top, but I'll just dump it. I don't really have a need for it, I don't think. Okay, let's continue on. We've got a circle seer. So I can use this to continue this tower, or I can use it to plug the hole for the second encounter. I haven't even gotten hit the first encounter yet, so I'm not going to worry about this gap just yet. I'm just going to continue working on this tower. Although, actually, a square seer would work better here because there's a square pyro here. Now I've got to get a triangular seer. Oh well. I think I'm well ahead of the game here. I'm doing okay, so I don't have to panic. We got a red juggler square. This I want to be a bastion because I've got a tower, and I'm working on my third tower. I don't need another tower over here. So this one, I'm going to dump that. Okay, we've got a purple pyro triangle. No real need for that. I'll dump it. Okay, there's one of those black bordered timers. So now I'm 1 timer away from this first encounter triggering. But I'm all good. I've met the requirements of it. I do have one. As long as I don't screw up my tower, my bastion, or my line of defense, I'm ready to tackle this first encounter. So now I've drawn a green triangular chameleon, and I really have no need for that. A red juggler triangle. That will continue my work on my bastion. Of course, it's going to require that I get a square here, because I'll have a circle, but I'm doing really well, so I'm not really concerned. Okay, I've got a green square chameleon. Don't need that. A blue seer circle. Okay, that is perfect. That will fill in this gap. So now I'm basically ready for this encounter. And this encounter, remember, requires 3 towers and 2 bastions. And I have 2 towers and 1 bastion. But once this triggers, I will have 3 towers. So I'm literally 1 tile away from winning the game at this point. And as you can see, I've not even touched the blue stack. Doing really, really well. Okay, we've got a triangular juggler. I'll dump that. We've got a square purple pyro. I guess I can dump that. Or I can just stick it up here. Really, it's not bothering me one way or another. In case I have to work on a backup bastion, though, I guess I can sort of make a bastion of pyros over here once this bottom rogue disappears. I guess I'll just stick it up here. I'm sort of playing a little haphazardly here. Okay, oh, there's our final timer. So that triggers the first encounter. I have met the requirements for it, so I'm safe. The encounter goes away, and now I'm 2 timers away but I'm safe as far as this one's concerned, because when this destroys the bottom foundation, I'll still have a complete foundation. So I'm doing really well. I have drawn a square blue seer. I have no need for that. I've gotten a blue seer triangle. I guess that's going to be my third tower. Okay, so there's my third tower. Not technically, it's not a tower yet because it's contaminated by these, but when this bottom row goes away, I'll have 3 towers. This one, and this one. So I'm really just waiting for this to trigger. But I'm literally, I'll have won the game as soon as I get my square chameleon, or my square juggler rather. So, oh, there are no square jugglers remaining. So maybe I just have to draw from the bottom stack, from the blue stack, until I get a square juggler, because that's the only square juggler that's remaining. That's what I'm going to do. Instead of continuing to draw from the red stack, I'll just keep drawing from the blue stack until I finish the game. So that's not what I want. That's not what I want. You can see all the blue stack tiles also have a blue line here in the bottom on the other side, so you always know that it came from the blue stack. And there it is. There. Oh no, that's not it. Sorry, that's a seer. The square popped up here showing me I can place it there, but that's not what I want, so that's going away. I'm just going to keep drawing until I get what I want. Nope. Nope. Oh, it's going to be at the bottom, isn't it? Come on. 4 tiles left. That's a circle. I'm looking at it. I'm seeing a square, but it's a circle. Come on. Nope. It is at the bottom of the stack, isn't it? 2 more tiles left. It's at the bottom of the stack. 1 more tile. It's the square juggler that I need to finish. There it is. Go in there. Then I draw. Oh, I'm drawing a rash of timers here that are sort of out of my control. Okay, doesn't matter. I won the game because the second encounter destroyed my bottom row. My entire stack of my entire castle dropped down, and now I have automatically won because I haven't triggered this encounter yet. But I literally, all I need to do is discard all the other tiles I draw until I draw 5 timers, and I'll have won because I have 1 tower here, 1 tower here, 1 tower here, a bastion, and a bastion. None of them contaminated. So that's how the introductory game works. As you can see, as long as you're kind of playing intelligently and placing tiles in the right place, it's pretty easy to get through the introductory game. So that completes this playthrough, and I'll post this video, and then I'll start working on my base level game of Castellion, and then we'll start to see how some of these how these different tiles work when you discard them and the special powers you get. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye bye.